Hello everyone and welcome to my AEW Fyter Fest Night 2 review. Really enjoyed Night 1 and Night 2. Well, let's see where it fared. Now, actually, before we begin, I do have to talk about the big news surrounding AEW, which is the fact that Daniel Bryan has reportedly signed. Now, this came during the show last night. They announced the news broke out. And I don't know, it's the type of thing where I'll believe it when I see it, but the fact that so many people now are reporting it, I don't know, man. If he does show up, I'll lose my mind and I'll spontaneously combust. And there's so many good matches that he could get. Obviously I think the big one is him, Bryan versus Omega, which oh my god, I'd pay so much money to see that. If Bryan goes to Japan, which is where he wants to go, AEW is definitely the place to, since they're dealing with New Japan. We could see Bryan versus Ibushi, maybe a rematch with Kenta somewhere down the line. But yeah, man. And then there's also the news of CM Punk currently in talks with AEW. Again, I will believe that one when I see it. That one I'm a lot less inclined to believe in, just because it comes up every time around this year anyway, because All Out is always in Chicago, so the rumor mill always goes around with CM Punk. So, I'm not too believing in the CM Punk one, but the Daniel Bryan one, the fact that so many people are reporting it, and that the date is set that he should show up at their New York City show, I am more inclined to believe this one. And I am so happy, because this is going to change things. Because AEW have been signing a lot of people, like, Andrade, Malachi Black, Big Show, Mark Henry, Christian Cage, and these people are big, but they haven't really been like the big, I guess, needle movers. Daniel Bryan is going to be one of those. If they get Punk too, that's it. It's a wrap, buddy. It's a wrap. But yeah, I'm really excited if both of those come true. And now we can get finally into the show. I just need to get that out of the way. So we started off with Chris Jericho versus Shawn Spears, the first match in the Labor of Jericho series, where Shawn Spears can use a chair, but Jericho can't. At the beginning of this match, freaking CM Pulse was on camera, and I popped huge, so shout out to CM Pulse. Chris Jericho, he put Shawn Spears in the walls of Jericho, but Tully distracted the ref, so Shawn Spears kept tapping out, but obviously the ref didn't see. Sammy then came out and dealt with Tully Blanchard. Shawn Spears nailed Jericho in the head with a chair, hit him with the C4, but Jericho still kicked out. Shawn Spears then went for a C4 with a chair. Jericho got out of that, hit the Judas effect, and won the match. It was a fine, solid match. We all knew Jericho was going to win it, though. I mean, let's be honest. He's not losing the first Labor of Jericho. MJF then announced to Chris Jericho, he told him, if you have any more help in any of these other labors, the match is off. He also told Jericho the next week, for the second Labor of Jericho, that he will be fighting in a no DQ match against a man who once robbed a bank with no mask. And as soon as he said that, I went, there's no goddamn way. There's no way. And then MJF announced Nick Gage. And I lost my mind. MDK, Nick Gage showed up. Oh my god, Chris Jericho's about to die. Oh my god. I had already heard that Gage could probably have a match with Omega, so that's what I was thinking of, and now he's here. Man, MJF really wants to kill Chris Jericho, because Nick Gage is going to take a pizza cutter to Jericho and just butcher this guy. Man, dude, that really excites me, man. We're getting Nick Gage in an AEW ring. What timeline do we live? What? Think about this. What timeline do we live in that Nick Gage has now shown up on AEW? Nick Gage is on national freaking television. CM Punk's in talks to return to AEW. And Daniel Bryan has reportedly signed with them. Like, what timeline are we living in here? That's what I want to just let that process for a bit. That this is the timeline that we live in. Yes, we've had COVID and a pandemic, but now that the pandemic, we're slowly moving away from it. It seems everything's getting back on track. Then we had Doc Gallows versus Frankie Kazarian, the Elite Hunter. I didn't really care too much about this match. Doc Gallows won, which really shocked me. I thought they were going to give it to Frankie. Kenny Omega came out after the match and told Frankie that, the Elite Hunter is now the Elite Hunted, and he's going to make an example of him. Hangman came out, started brawling, but, the numbers game was too much for him. Dark Order came out to make the save, and that was that. Pretty simple little brawl at the end to keep building a pipe for the 10-man tag next week. We had Wheeler Yuta versus Darby Allin. Great to see Wheeler Yuta get some shine. This was just a Darby Allin showcase match as he beat Wheeler Yuta with the coffin drop. After the match, the Blade came out and knocked out Orange Cassidy with the brass knucks. So, there is that. Britt Baker fought Nyla Rose with AEW Women's World Title match. This match was just okay to me. I wasn't really feeling this one. The big thing about this one was Britt Baker tried to do the Eddie Guerrero cheat where she threw Nyla Rose the belt and then fell down. But the ref was too distracted for that. So Britt got up, Nyla threw the belt back at her and then pretended like the whole, oh no, don't hit me thing. And then Britt got hit with a beast bomb after that, and I thought, no way, they're going to take it off her. Thankfully, they didn't, and Britt kicked out. She hit the lockjaw and made Nyla tap, and Britt retains. Thank goodness. After watching the match now, I've realized that they're keeping the whole thing that Britt's thing is she just keeps kicking out of finishers. Because that's what she did the entire match with Hikaru Shida, and now she did it again with Nyla. So I hope that's her thing now. She just kicks out of finishers. FTR and Santana and Ortiz had a bit of a press conference. This was hyping up their match next week, which I'm super excited for. It was a great press conference with Santana showing pictures about, his mom's first apartment, how she looked when she was pregnant with him, and all stuff like that. Really building up to it. Yeah, I love this press conference. Great. Andrade El Idolo had an interview with Tony Schiavone. During this, he announced he has a new representative. It is Chavo Guerrero, and Chavo came out. Great to see Chavo, man. It's really great to see Chavo. Death Triangle came out. All three of them. They all returned. Andrade then asked the Lucha Bros, why are you guys working for Pac? Pac said, they don't work for me. We're a team. We're a brotherhood. We work with each other. They then go to the ring. And Andrade goes, hey, let's calm down here. Tranquilo. A bunch of refs come to separate them, and that's that. What I absolutely think's happening is the Lucha Brothers are 100% going to turn on Pac and join Andrade. And we're going to get like a Mexican mafia thing going on here. Orange Cassidy fought the Blade. The Blade faked a knee injury early on. He then hit a gut wrench bomb on the turnbuckle to Orange Cassidy, which looked nasty, bro. Oh my god, that was vicious. Orange Cassidy won, and after the match, he hit the Blade with the Orange Punch brass knucks after the match. I don't really call it the Orange Punch, I call it the Fruit Punch, because that's just more funnier to me. Chris Jericho then had an interview with Alex Marvez where he said that, if he's going to handle Nick Gage, he needs to bring out the darker side of Chris Jericho. And that next week, he will become the Painmaker. Then we had the main event, Jon Moxley versus Lance Archer for the IWGP US Championship Texas Death Match. This was a lot, man. Lance Archer threw a fan at Jon Moxley. Moxley hit a DDT on the exposed floor. He stabbed Archer with a fork, and Archer just started gushing. Archer chokeslammed Moxley onto the top of two chairs, which was, he's back. I had no idea that a Texas Deathmatch was pretty much just a last man standing. So, because the ref has to count to 10. So pretty much Texas Deathmatch is last man standing. Moxley set up 2 tables side by side on the outside, and you think, oh, they're going to do the spot they always do, which is the paradigm shift through the 2 tables. He then takes 2 barbed wire boards, puts them on top, and then goes for the paradigm shift. Archer reverses that, hits him with a choke slam, put him through both the tables and the barbed wire board, and the ref counts to 10, and Lance Archer wins the IWGP US title. I am really shocked that New Japan allowed the belt to change on not their show. Essentially, I thought they were going to wait for it to be a New Japan show to change it, but no. They just straight up just won't go ahead. Yeah. And then, after the match, Lance Archer had a stare down with Hikuleo of Guerrillas of Destiny. And they will be fighting next week for the title. This was a very good show. I do believe Night 1 was better, but I still thought Night 2 was pretty solid on the whole. If I did have to rate Night 2, I'd give it an 8.5 out of 10. Fine show. After the show, though, I was hyped. Like, that's how I can tell it was a really good show, and I was just so ecstatic and hyped up about wrestling again. So now we look at the card for next week. Fight for the Fallen. We have Santana and Ortiz versus FTR, which is going to be awesome. Christian Cage and the Jurassic Express are going to take on the Hardy Family Office of Angelico and Private Party. We have Lance Archer versus Hikuleo for the IWGP US Championship. Chris Jericho versus Nick Gage in a no rules match, which is the second labor of Jericho. So that's their no DQ. It's a no rules match. And then what I'm assuming is the main event, the 10-man tag of the Elite versus Hangman and the Dark Order. Specifically, the Dark Order is Evil Uno, Stu Grayson, John Silver, Alex Reynolds. Obviously, if Paige and the Dark Order win, they all receive a future title shot. If they lose, they don't get anything. Fight for the Fallen looks like a pretty good card, man. I'm really excited for the 10-man tag. Pretty much every match I'm really excited for. Maybe bar the 6-man. But everything else I'm really excited for. And that's going to do it for my AEW Fyter Fest Night 2 review. Let me know what you guys thought of Fyter Fest Night 2 in the comments down below. Tell me what you think about Daniel Bryan possibly just signing a contract to AEW down below as well. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Share the video, and I'll see you all next time.